Hey guys, I hope you're doing well today. I hope your week has been good. I'm recording on my phone today because my mic died. I hope the audio is still good on here though. Today I wanted to talk about consecration. So, number one, what is consecration? Consecration means to be sacred for a time. And to be sacred at time in some reference could mean to hide, to be hidden. If something is sacred, it means it has to be kept hidden to be sacred, right? Like if somebody's waiting for marriage or something, that means that's sacred to them. That's what's being hidden until a certain time. There's certain times in our life where we must be consecrated, where we must be hidden. In the Bible, Jesus was hidden. He had to be hidden at times. He was hidden in the desert for 40 days in a fast by himself, battling temptation, battling the devil for 40 days. So in that time, he was consecrated. He was by himself. In our walk with God, there's a certain time in some seasons with God where we have to be kept hidden. We have to be consecrated. And not even referring to spirituality or religious, it could refer to anything actually. After a breakup, you have to be hidden, right? You have to keep yourself sacred for a period of time, to not be in a relationship until you fully heal from that person, or else whatever you're not healed from, it projects onto other people if you're not being kept hidden. In order for God to take us higher, we must be able to step back and be hidden for a while. In the Bible, it talks a lot about being hidden in the wings of God, being hidden in his words. And when we give our life to Jesus, it's a very spiritual, sensitive thing. When we give our life to Jesus, we're declaring that this is a whole new way of life. And from declaring that, we have to set ourselves apart to truly understand what that new life is with Jesus and what it's like after giving your life to him. And to do that, you have to step away from everything that you knew before to accept this new way of knowledge, this new wisdom. To accept it, you need to step back and you need to hide yourself. For me, I'm not even gonna lie, I hide myself a lot, if I'm being honest, in the arms of Jesus. And what I mean by that is I go without talking to people or hanging out with people really, or opening up to people. Instead, I just get into a deep mode of prayer and meditation, because sometimes when our hearts are heavy, sometimes if we're not healed from something, or if there's like a drastic change within us, then we need to sort of feel everything out in a way. Only by setting ourselves apart from certain environments for a period of time can we truly feel everything and process everything. In the Bible, Jesus went up into the mountains a lot to pray. I remember one passage in the Bible, he asked his disciples, he said, I'm going to go up to this mountain, be in prayer for me. He had to get away from them so that he can truly pray and talk to God. And Moses, when Moses was leading the Israelites, he had to go up to this certain mountain. I think it's Mount Moriah or like something. He had to go up to a certain mountain and pray to God. He had to exclude himself from everybody that he was leading so that he can truly hear God. So we have to hide ourselves sometimes. There's a lot of seasons in our life, like if somebody's creating a business, if somebody wants to create a business, if somebody's writing a book, if somebody's working on themselves, whether it's fitness or health or whatever, you have to step outside of everything that you know and sort of hide yourself a bit. That just means like being a little secret with yourself, not telling everybody everything, because you're trying to reflect more on yourself and you're trying to reflect more in your life. With that, you have to step apart. When you're wanting to take a step higher in your life or open your eyes in a different perspective, it starts with consecration, with being hidden. And when we give our life to Jesus, it starts with consecration, because that period of being hidden is us reconditioning our minds to letting everything inside our minds go, like everything that we thought about, everything that we were conditioned to believe. We have to let it all go in order to really believe and restart our life. It starts with consecration. And this one Bible verse I want to share with you guys is Psalm 31:20. In the cover of your presence, you hide them from the plots of men. You store them in your shelter from the strife of tongues. This verse is very powerful, because in everything, before we start a bigger thing in our life, we are conducting war with ourselves. And while we're conducting war with ourselves, we're breaking familiar spirits, or we're breaking familiarity, because we're stepping out of our comfort zone to receive a whole new life and a new vision and working toward a new goal. And when we do that, we're in a sensitive state. we're in a very sensitive state. So that's why you need to be hidden first for a period of time. Anything within yourself, if you're not secret with it, if you're not hiding yourself for a period of time, you're in a sensitive state spiritually and mentally for attack. And while you work on a new business, or if there's just a drastic change in your life, like giving your life to Jesus, you have to hide yourself. And it goes even further when you give your life to Jesus. It's the matter of delivering yourself from spiritual ties, from familiar spirits, from spiritual bounds that your family was entangled with for your whole bloodline. That period of consecration is you receiving the mantle of Jesus and carrying it out in your bloodline and changing those generational patterns of your life, breaking certain curses, breaking certain spiritual ties. When you receive that mantle of Jesus, when you receive that deliverance of Jesus, when you want that new life, you're receiving that mantle. And when you receive that mantle, you have to hide that light first, so that you can receive the discernment, wisdom, and knowledge to let that light shine. Because if you let your light shine, let's say if you get saved and you tell everybody about Jesus and then all of a sudden you come across an atheist, a very hardcore atheist, and then you're like, oh man, I really don't know what to say. Then that puts you in a sensitive state, and then your faith is a little rocky, a little bit maybe, or shaken. So you must be hidden so your knowledge and wisdom can grow, so you know how to deal with certain situations, so that your strength is increased, so you can be taken into the steps of reflection and observation and healing from anything that you entangled yourself with before giving your life to Jesus. Because only from hiding yourself is when you can truly get all of that old stuff out. Like everything that you dabbled into when you were part of the world and now you're saved with Jesus, you have to just have a period of time where you're kind of cleansing yourself in a way, receiving the deliverance of Jesus. When we're setting ourselves apart with Jesus, we're delivering ourselves from the sins and the demons that we've attracted, the evil spirits that we've attracted through sin, through lust of sin. When we're hidden, we're being brought to purity in heart. Consecration brings us to purity of heart, and only through being pure in heart can we truly receive Jesus' love. So consecration brings us to purity of heart. It brings us to healing. It brings us to wisdom and knowledge. Purity of heart is first. Purity of heart is the ability to receive, the ability to understand, the ability to comprehend. And so only by being hidden and being consecrated with Christ is when we can truly let go and receive His light.